we're going to talk about omega oils, omega-3, 6 mainly. There's 3, 6, 9, there's a number of different ones, but the main ones that people think about are omega-3, 6. So let's talk with omega-3. This is where we don't have a lot in our diet. We need more of it. It's in a lot of fish, and it's great for us. It helps for heart function. It helps for inflammation. It helps for brain function. It's important for a number of different modalities. Without it, we start to have short-term memory. Things start to malfunction. We have like injuries that don't heal properly. If your joints hurt, a lot of times it's low on omega-3, and it's important. But a lot of people don't think omega-6 is all that important. And I think it's maybe more important to a certain extent than omega-3. Thousands of years ago, we had 44% oxygen. That's why these dinosaurs grew so big, because there was so much oxygen in their tissue, a lot of blood flow, and they could grow huge. But over time, our amount of oxygen has decreased down to about 32%. And in some inner cities, it goes down to 22%, and even less, sometimes as low as 12% in a real smoggy day. So the cells need to get respirated. And when the oxygen level is low, they start to ask omega-6 to help transport LDL to the cell. Our LDL transports omega-6 to the cell to uptake oxygen. Omega-6 is, like, for a better word, a lubricant, allowing oxygen to go into the cell and respirate the cell. Problem is, we have tons of omega-6 in our diet. It's just overloaded with omega-6 compared to omega-3. But it's all rancid, it's all putrid, it's been degraded by heat, temperature, frying, cooking. We don't get any pure omega-6. Like people that eat raw food, things, and then they get more omega-6 in their diet. But if you don't get quality omega-6, then the cell's going, hey, it's not respirating properly. I need more omega-6. I need more omega-6 because it's not being utilized. It's like having sand in your oil. You get a little lubricant, but you get some damage and it just doesn't work properly and the cells doesn't accept it. So this is where you need a quality omega-6 that's not damaged, it's not putrid, and they go bad they go rancid very easily. So you need to get a quality omega-6 to allow it to go into the cell and respirate the cell so it doesn't go south on you. So let's talk about that. If the cell doesn't get respirated, that means it could go rogue, it could go cancerous, because a cancerous cell is an anaerobic cell. It doesn't utilize oxygen. And what you have to understand, there's two lines in the Krebs cycle. There's an aerobic side and there's an anaerobic side. The aerobic side produces 34 ATP on general, and the anaerobic side produces 4 ATP. But if you look at it as what they do, one's more like for running, the aerobic one. It needs oxygen, it produces energy. But if you have to lift something heavy, it goes to the anaerobic side, which can produce a lot of oxygen. Not a lot of oxygen, a lot of ATP, energy. But it's like a dirty diesel. It's like when you're driving down the road and you see that the fumes come off a diesel. That's happening in your cell, so there's a lot of free radical damage when you use the anaerobic side of the cell. It makes it dirty. The aerobic side is cleaner, like a gasoline engine. You don't see a lot of pollution, you don't see it in the air, it runs properly. So If you don't get enough oxygen into the cell, it starts to rely on the anaerobic side of the cell to produce the ATP, which is like the gasoline that runs the car. And when it starts to produce all this pollutants and you don't have enough oxygen, it's like when you're deprived of oxygen, it starts to become a stupid cell. It starts to malfunction, it starts to do things wrong. And if it gets too cloudy and too mucked up, in my belief system, it can go anaerobic totally. And it becomes a really stupid cell because it's got a lot of pollution, it's not operating properly, and it doesn't learn how to replicate properly. It loses its ability to commit suicide when it's going malfunctioning. So it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And this is a problem. So omega-6 is crucial to delivering oxygen to the cell. Now, guess what delivers that to the cell? It's LDL delivers the omega-6 to the cell. So if you're not getting respirated and you're delivering trash to the cell and the cells get, hey, I'm not getting respirated, I need more oxygen because we don't have enough in the atmosphere, it's not getting there properly, then you're going to see LDL go up because it's trying to transport more omega-6 to get the job done. And so what do? We take drugs to lower LDL because LDL in excess causes kind of like a stickiness in the cardiovascular system and causes plaque buildup and negative things to the cardiovascular system. So you got the LDL going up, the cell's not getting respirated, it starts to damage the cardiovascular, and then you have problems. So what do? They say, oh, we need to get the LDL down so we don't have a cardiovascular problem. They give drugs to lower the LDL, which in turn makes the cell not get respirated. So now you kind of understand the correlation between a healthy cell and a non-healthy cell is getting quality omega-6 and 3 to the cell so it operates properly, and you can cut inflammation and other things in the body so the body properly runs. So remember, you need quality omega-3, 6 to uptake oxygen, to help inflammation, and to run properly.